A Course in Miracles, Workbook for Students, Lesson 182. I will be still an instant and go home. This is a beautiful lesson, and before we begin this lesson, let us do the meditation from A Course in Miracles. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Now, let us come back to the beautiful words of these meditations and how they help us understand our deeper selves within. I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not home to you. And somewhere in your mind, you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing so definite that you could say with certainty you are in exile here. Just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. No one but knows whereof we speak, yet some try to put by their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Absolutely beautiful. All the activities that we involve ourselves in, we but try to occupy ourselves just to hide a so called suffering. What is the suffering? That suffering is that we always feel from innermost core of our hearts that this is not our home, and yet we seem to look for that home in all the illusions that are around here. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize that tears at all. Still, others will maintain what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet, who, in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? We speak today for everyone who walks this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find, not recognizing what it is he seeks. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contents his restless mind. He does not understand he builds in vain. The home he seeks cannot be made by him. There is no substitute for heaven. All he ever made was hell. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again. The childhood of your body and its place of shelter are a memory now so distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks his father's house and knows that he is an alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child shall go is holy ground. It is His holiness that lights up heaven, and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, wherein are earth and heaven joined as one. Perhaps, Jesus is using such a beautiful symbol of the Christ child we use during Christmas times, and He's telling us to identify with Him and to make the Christ child, be like children, as it said in Bible. And yes, Christ child, we have to follow that example. And let us read further. It is this child in you your father knows as his own son. It is this child who knows his father. He desires to go home so deeply, so unceasingly. His voice cries unto you to let him rest a while. He does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which he can return to breathe again the holy air that fills his father's house. You are his home as well. He will return, but give him just a little time to be himself within the peace that is his home, resting in silence and peace and in love. This child needs your protection. He is far from home. He is so little that he seems so easily shut out, his tiny voice so readily obscured, his call for help almost unheard amid the grating sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does he know that in you still abides his sure protection. You will fail him not. He will go home and you along with him. So here we have to, carry this Christ child with us, and that Christ child will lead us home. This child is your defenselessness, your strength. He trusts in you. He came because he knew you would not fail. He whispers of his home unceasingly to you, for he would bring you back with him, that he himself might stay and not return again where he does not belong, and where he lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. His patience has no limits. He will wait until you hear his gentle voice within you, calling you to let him go in peace along with you to where he is at home and you with him. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then will you hear his voice. So poignantly he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. Rest with him frequently today, for he was willing to become a little child that you might learn of him how strong is he who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those who think he is their enemy. He holds the might of heaven in his hand and calls them friend, and gives his strength to them that they may see he would be a friend to them. He asks that they protect him, for his home is far away and he will not return to it alone. Christ is reborn as but a little child each time a wanderer would leave his home, for he must learn that what he would protect is but this child who comes defenseless and who is protected by defenselessness. Go home with him from time to time today. You are as much an alien here as he is. Take time today to lay aside your shield, which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raise against an enemy without existence. Christ has called you friend and brother. He has even come to ask your help in letting him go home today, completed and completely. He has come as does a little child who must beseech his father for protection and for love. He rules the universe, and yet he asks unceasingly that you return with him and take illusions as your gods no more. You have not lost your innocence. It is for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The holy child remains with you. His home is yours. Today he gives you his defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for all the toys of the battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still in an instant and go home with him, and be at peace a while.